You're young, mangler. Try to keep it to a minimum.
Hmm.
Alright, so, and also I'll have to upload the second video today because unfortunately I haven't had time to upload it. Not important right now. So, where do we leave off on? Specifically, because I feel like I want to talk more about Gary and Knight, but I'm not too sure because I didn't rewatch the last video.
Well, we didn't really have too much to cover in regards to Gary and Knight because, again, Gary Knight is only a boss fight that you can fight with V. We don't even have an example of it in Bloody Palace.
Which is
So,
really fucking weird. All the bosses to not have in Bloody Palace, not having fucking Gary and Knight was weird.
I know I would have I think I would have forgiven Capcom for either Nihog or okay, maybe not Nihog, but I would have forgiven them for Gilgamesh if they put Garyon in Bloody Palace. I would have been like, yes, all is forgiven.
It just seems weird because like you can't even unlock a bonus stage with it. Like you think there'd be like an unlockable bonus stage with Gary and Knight or something, just like
Mm.
have something, but no. All right,
I'm at least glad that they're self-aware and they didn't put Nihog and Gilgamesh in Bloody Palace, so that sort of also makes up for it.
I don't think you could put Gilgamesh in Bloody Palace for V specifically. Like I think you could put it for Dante maybe. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
no,
could.
V wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah,
Like,
unless they
he'd be
fucking
like,
rework
summon nightmares, send them to the underworld,
Nightmare
and
just
then it does
fucking
nothing.
meteors on a fucking Gilgamesh's back, dropping him in an instant.
Yeah, the way you kill him is that you summon Nightmare every couple times and hope that the meteor hits the direct back of the Qlifoth root that's stuck.
Yeah.
It just takes like 20 minutes.
No, after using Super V, which is Canon
Using Super V, it takes roughly 8 minutes to kill him
V. You really
on the
gotta pray
lowest
he doesn't.
difficulty.
You just have to pray he doesn't move that much, and then hope for the best. Actually, one of the comments on one of the last videos was in our on our top 20 list was they agreed with the list, but they're like, why all the V wank? And I'm like, what V wank? Everything there was completely true in every single
You beat
mission.
Nightmare. A lot of
Um,
that is also assuming that like the bosses that he's fighting, like they don't have an ability that just hacks his V out and kills him instantly.
I mean, they can't
But,
kill him instantly though, because he can react to all of them. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he beat Cavalier Angelo, so by default, his speed would have to be comparable to their fastest fighter, who is Cavalier Angelo. Well,
Well,
besides
no,
Gary.
I was saying compared to something like the Blob. Um, but that's not relevant right now.
All right,
We're
fair enough.
we're talking about DMC, so
Okay.
we're
Oh,
fine
you meant
with
the
this.
blob from somewhere. Okay, I was gonna say, what the fuck? What blob? Alright. So what boss are we on now?
Cavalier.
Just Cavalier by himself?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be talking about this from the perspective of just playing him with Dante, and then we'll
Playing
do a
him
Bloody
with
Palace
Dante.
version.
We'll keep Bloody Palace thoughts till later for the quality
V's
of life
uh,
and.
V's thoughts will also be in Bloody Palace as well, since even though V does fight Cavalier,
Well,
you're most like.
well, the Mirage bosses are mentioned later, so we'll go on those.
All right,
We could mention this.
all
Yeah,
right. So we'll mention those separately. All right, that's fine.
yeah.
Okay.
So Cavalier, amazing boss fight. I love this boss. It's so fucking good. So I guess Capcom thought that like, hey, you guys remember Nello Angelo, right? Like that was a good boss fight. Solid humanoid enemy, has good tells, announces his attacks, can taunt you, has a similar move set, and it's basically a player fighting you as a boss. Okay.
Yeah, who knew that'd be the best boss fights? It's almost like the entire genre is based around the very
Right,
concept.
right, right. Then we're gonna bring it back with Virgil in DMC3, make it even better. Then we'll not really make it better, but sort of introduce a different concept of the shielded enemy and make the best boss fight out of it being Kratos. But then we'll bring back Cavalier.
Then we'll combine it all into this one weird looking Alistair wannabe package.
Yes, this guy that everybody thought was Alistair.
This will, for
Uh,
I think forever, this will be one of the stupidest fucking things DMC did. Is that it very clearly it's Alistair, but it's not Alistair.
Cavalier.Alistair.exe.
And it's so weird because they go go with Artemis being Artemis, but they don't go with fucking Cavalier being Alistair. Like I don't know what the hell they were thinking there. Like
I prefer to only refer to him as Cavalier Alistair, as that is his full name. Not a bad name though. So as far as like his actual mechanics, well, he's a shielded enemy that again he can punish your strikes if you block him at the wrong time. He'll like I guess reprisal you is the term. But again, if you hit him with enough damaging hits, you hit him with enough consecutive attacks and stun moves, you can break his guard. He's vulnerable. He gets punished for it. He has his quick teleports, ranged attacks. He can activate a charge move that will spam the entire area. But again, if you don't stop it soon enough, you'll get punished for it because he'll power up his sword and he'll be able to like blast the entire area. If you do stop him,
wait,
he gets vulnerable.
you can stop his sword charge up.
Yeah, like when he's holding his sword to the air, you can just like shoot him. You can hit him with double clean, and you can hit him with like send DT.
I was not aware you could stop that. I just assumed that was kind of like super armored, like for everything.
No, there's a reason why he's not even super armored, because if you shoot him with ebony and ivory, his hand moves when he's holding the handle, because he's like like I'm gonna get staggered, but like not really.
This is what I call a pseudo stagger.
Not full stagger. I am the shielded enemy. But I gotta say, like, that and the parry windows, the way that this enemy tests your Royal Guard and how accurate the frame timing for a lot of, like, the releases are. Teleporting around with this boss, jump canceling on him is also fine. There's been so many combo mads and combo vids just on Cavalier to lead me to believe that this boss fight probably has as much, if not more, potential than Virgil as a boss, like just to style and combo on. And he's not a pushover by any means. Like that's the great thing.
Depends on your skill level. Like for your average player, he's not gonna be a pushover. I completely agree. But if you can perform combo mats on him, yeah, he's a pushover. I mean, every boss is a pushover after a while. Let's just be real here.
Sure, I'm saying at a basic level. I'm not saying like, and like if you mess up, you get fucked. Like you get punished so hard. Once again, he'll just stick you. So yeah, I found him to be a solid boss fight with Dante. It's pretty respectable projectiles as well. What about you?
Regarding the boss fight, so parries were nice, especially the fact that you could the sword parries were a full thing, fully fledged fucking mechanic in the fight. That was always that was definitely a nice touch. His projectiles, for Dante specifically, they are really fucking weak. They are not a threat in the slightest. If you get hit by those projectiles, Dante, you need to go get yourself checked into the hospital because something is clearly wrong with you. The Royal Guard timing, yeah, he was very clearly a boss designed to encourage learning Royal Guard, and considering how they buffed it for this game, that's definitely a good thing. The clash system was nice, although if you are using, say, Balrog, like my brother did, parrying becomes so trivial that this boss fight, even on a casual playthrough, is incredibly easy, especially when it gets in close range. I will say I wasn't too sure about the staggering mechanic. That was a little surprise to me. I don't think I've ever really staggered him out of anything. I do like his blocking, but I kind of don't like how it's a complete block. Like, this is a pretty big guy. His wing, or I guess pretty big fucking chick. His suit of or her suit of armor. It's so weird. Fucking trying to fucking. Her suit of armor, fucking only her wing only covers her chest, but I can't hit her leg. I mean, dude, she's like fucking 3 times my height. I can just slice her leg casually. Come on now, at least extend the wing all the way down, please. And no. Besides that, yeah, enemy step works pretty well. The teleporting is fine, but after a while, I'm not sure if she does it as much as some of the other bosses or some of the other enemies. But I kind of remember that she would teleport around quite a bit, and
she teleports more to you than she teleports away from you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It kind of counteracts the idea that it's like she never runs away. She just moves away. She regroups just to power up. to come
Yeah,
back to kick your ass. Like
that
she never
teleport.
runs away
Yeah,
for like a million years.
that teleporting was a nice touch. Although I do kind of wonder like why they had the effects pop up every single time. I mean, like I personally didn't mind it, but I feel like if you had epilepsy, like if you were fine with the game to that point, you were done. I can't remember Angelo.
Oh yeah.
And the actual whole area of lightning thing when they do their full charge up, I'm not gonna say it's bad, but I don't really like it. I feel like it's really kind of whack because it doesn't really feel like they're individual lightning bolts. It feels like they're just automatic ticks. And while I don't mind that per se, the animation could be more honest about it. They also have this big old like fucking air like strike, right? That comes at you from across the map. Like it'll just strike down where you're at.
Mm.
That attack's fine, but the projectiles again really weak on Dante. Close range is fine. The boss fight overall is really good, especially given the game it's in and all the other trash boss fights that appeared. So it's definitely pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best version of that fight possible. I think that still goes to probably Credo, but definitely a good fight.
Mm. As far as an Angelo, I think that like just the sheer number of ways in which you can interact and style with this boss, I think is just
Unique
much
and
more
valid.
investing to me than something like Credo, because Credo is like very clearly catered towards more interaction with Nero. Like his deeper mechanics only properly can be interacted with Nero. Yeah, you can do them with Dante, but like most of the ways in which they're catered towards Dante don't, like a lot of them require a huge amount of practice, way more so than what's practically
I
expected.
mean, but to be fair, that's just the general statement for DMC4 Dante in general.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I
like,
would say that, like this wouldn't this the problem is that with Credo, this argument doesn't apply if we take the inverse and I have Nero fight Cavalier. Like Nero has just defined time. Like he can honestly do almost as much, if not more, than Dante can.
yeah, I would
Um,
expect him to do so when he has a bigger arsenal.
yeah, so like when I look at Dante and it's just like you're not properly fucking designed, you stagger for shit, you're too weak. I mean, yeah, you got a lot of weapons and an amazing toolkit and a huge amount of potential, but like,
Are you referring to DMC4 there or DMC
yeah,
five?
DMC4,
All right,
but
I just
like
want to clarify there for people watching.
practical applications need to be practical,
Yeah, but I mean
which is
that's just
not.
that's just a problem with DMC4 in general though. When it comes to Dante, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with Dante's design, but that'll be a subject for another day.
You know,
All right, so
so
next boss.
solid boss fight, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I don't think I'd give it a 10 out of 10 personally. The projectiles don't feel anywhere near as threatening as they did for, say, like the original
I mean, they
Angelo.
don't show up as much, so I don't really consider them like a problem.
I mean, well, they're not a problem, and that's the problem.
Well, they don't show up enough to even be considered. Like,
Maybe it's because I
because
play
the
V
way
a
that
lot.
because Cavalier is like, well, you think I'm gonna sit back here and like zone you to death? I'm coming over there, motherfucker. And then like that's exactly what he does. Like he doesn't even need the projectiles to pressure you. So it's kind of like they're just kind of a bonus rather
A
than like
lapse in Balrog.
shush. So now we got the mirages.
All right,
So I
so
guess this sort of gets into like the V boss rush, but these bosses are a little different, obviously, in that even though they're bosses we fought before, you fight them on resource management, in that you kind of just choose what demons you want to fight with.
well,
Now,
here's the problem I kind of have with like. So are we going to talk about it with each individual summon, or are we going to talk about it like complete as a whole? Because technically, you can fight any of them with all your summons. Because you can
yeah,
choose whichever one you want. But anyone who fights Cavalier Angelo without getting at least Nightmare is a fucking legend.
I mean it's not too bad because if you learn the parry windows for Shadow, you can just keep parrying him. It just takes a while. You just have to have an enormous amount of patience.
That's exactly the point.
Um,
And
because
then he'll instantly break your fucking. He'll instantly break. Oh, I guess it's just off Cavalier since we're already on this one. Okay, so do you want? So we're doing like full kit, or are we just doing like individual creature?
full kit versus each of them individually, or like limited resources versus them. Well, do we have to go over both, or can we just do focus?
All right. Well, I don't think we have to go over individually. Because I
We'll,
think
we'll
both.
go over the boss rush as a concept in the quality of life improvement section.
All right. So full. Okay. So let's talk. Goliath. I'm sure you have. I'll let you start off since you don't play V as much.
So Goliath is a really solid boss, as we said, for a first boss and just in general. But I think V kind of destroys any like proper interaction with him because, for one, can't really parry a lot of the shit that he can do with like Shadow, which is one of the things that Shadow's great
Well,
for.
you know his Kane can parry, right?
His what?
His regular Kane can parry.
King?
Yeah, no, his Kane, like his B button, it parries.
Yeah, no, his cane, but I'm talking about Shadow. Like Shadow specifically, like one of the mechanics that works with him is that he can parry with the various spikes, his normal combos. And Goliath is a massive hitbox, much more practical for Shadow to hit than even the Behemoth, and way less threatening to Shadow because you can just call Shadow whenever you want with a dodge that you'll be spamming frequently. That's not even to mention that like Nightmare, all Nightmare has to do is use a legal move and then demolition, and Goliath's half of Goliath's health bar is gone. Like there's nothing he can do because he's just a dumb AI that like throws himself at you in an attempt to get blown away. This wasn't a problem before because like no player, like Dante, whether it be like Nero or Dante, whatever, they don't have the damage output to immediately nuke him to death unless they've got like send DT banked and like all their strongest options. Like they have to fight him at least for a little bit. V can just go into Nightmare and immediately nuke him to death and hit him with that, which is kind of silly. Griffin and Shadow do insane amounts of damage buildup, but like I think for what it's worth, like it's not too bad on the player's part at least. It's just the boss is not capable of handling Nightmare. The animation is really cool at the end though. I do like that. Um, I don't have much to talk about. It's just like it's a boss we've seen before being fought with a character that it isn't designed for.
Well, that's what happens when you're in a game that's not designed for you.
You know.
Okay, so Goliath. Number one, enemy step heaven with V. With V, you can literally just be on him
Oh,
non-stop, and because you can do damage with his cane in the at least here you can do damage with his cane. You can honestly V by himself could probably solo Goliath if you have the patience and you don't fuck up.
well, what I was gonna mention, one of the things I completely forgot is that if you're playing this in repeated playthroughs and you have the Bloody Palace taunt, where you summon the lightsaber and you just jump on him, you can smack out a decent portion of his health if you just keep doing that. And then with Nightmare, you will just destroy him in
Yeah,
a war of
and
attrition.
if you have the Bloody Palace taunt, there's also no knockback on V's cane hit.
Yeah, no, it's staggerless. So like when you
I will
smack him, it'll go
say
clean through.
that taunt should be easier to do,
It should be.
especially since it has such a massive gameplay ramification with it. I think they
It,
should have mapped
it
it to the D-pad.
it needs to be a little bit faster. No, not the D pad, but like it just needs to be a little bit faster. That's it.
Well, no, like the button input, because when I first got it, like even with practice, it's really inconsistent because it's asking you to do button inputs that will automatically do another action even if you don't get it right. Like if you fuck up by a little bit. So you'd have to literally spend a significant chunk of time.
You're saying like the taunt. Well, I'm just saying like as far as like putting it to the D-pad, that would seem really weird. Just I normally I would, but like I don't. I've never heard of a taunt being put to the D-pad.
Well,
That just kind of.
the reason I'm saying is because this taunt in particular changes the gameplay significantly. Like from what I
It does.
understand, Dante's is an attack boost. Nero's does absolutely fucking nothing. And that is true apparently. But V's is literally an entire game changing mechanic. And it is game changing. Whether or not you want to say it's very like
No,
useful,
no, it's more damage, and his cane doesn't get knocked back. Like
which changes the entire game completely. Because if you don't have knockback on your cane, that means you can just swing it around freely. Not like you want to still, but you know it's an option. So for
because
me
you're still
personally,
weak as fuck.
yeah. But for me personally, I would have mapped that onto the D-pad just that way V players can just have their ability ready to use because it is an ability at the end of the day. Um,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, when you have that added to this boss fight, it makes it a lot easier. But even
Like
without it,
even if you what's it called? Let's say you fight him even as the second boss, but you don't have like what's it called? You have either Griffin or Shadow, and you just have Nightmare. Um, like
I
with
mean, you're
this, you
still
just jump on him.
yeah, you're
I'm
still
pretty sure it still works, even if you just have Nightmare. It just takes a little bit more time because you just
no
jump
okay.
on them, you do air taunt, and then you just kind of
Okay,
walk around them,
so you
charge
can't
the
build DT significantly fast enough, even with just air taunting with V, to do a pure nightmare run on Goliath.
Oh, you can because jump canceling gives you DT.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. Jump canceling is always giving you DT because it's considered stylish. Now, the DT buildup isn't too crazy, but when you
Yeah.
can jump almost twice to get to the top of his head, and then and then you can
Well, you
jump
also
again,
gotta be
keep
careful. You
jumping,
know, you also gotta be
and
careful
then
like when you're jumping because he can instantly go into a charge or he can do wonky hitboxes. And as V, you can't afford to take hits.
yeah, you can't, but like again, you just teleport, jump away, teleport, jump
No,
away.
if
Be
you're doing this
careful.
boss fight, your best bet is just go fucking straight into Shadow. Shadow here is gonna be your best bet.
Well, I'm saying even with Nightmare only, you're not like threatened if you just know the timings for when he's gonna charge.
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah. Except
it's stupid.
he does have a pretty fucking awful hitbox on that charge though. Like you don't notice it when you're playing as Nero because Nero has way more mobility. But when you're playing V and you clearly jump over him and it still hits you, you just oof. Not the funnest feeling.
I think it that just comes down to V being poorly designed as far as some of his jumps and his aerial capabilities. Because he was clearly designed for Nero and he did well. He served his purpose. It's just when you give him to V, V's like, I don't know what to do.
Uh,
Summon Nightmare.
yeah, but for the most part, yeah, the boss fight is fine inherently. Definitely just run
It's not a
strats.
bad boss fight. It's just it doesn't. I don't think it's designed for V, so he can abuse Goliath with no one's business.
And then the next boss fight is
Mirage Artemis.
oh, Artemis fucking sucks.
So I played her with V, or I played her with Griffin, and Griffin's launcher does a surprising amount of damage.
Yeah, no, it's one of the fights where you really recognize Griffin's damage output because he's like the
I
only consistent damage output in this
so
fight.
so the problem with Artemis in this fight is a problem that I never noticed in Nero's fight, and that's that she does. Remember how I said that Cavalier teleports back and forth, but always teleports to come back to kick your ass. Uh,
Yeah, she moves away from you.
Mirage, Mirage just Artemis doesn't do that. Artemis just flies away the entire fight and fires
Yep.
projectiles at you, and basically I always hit her first to get her out of the way, but then I always use Griffin, and because of this, I didn't have the shadow dodge. I now realized I should have done freaking Shadow first with Goliath and then did Griffin with her. But even if I did that, it wouldn't make a difference by too much because Shadow could never hit her. Like I
Okay.
have to wait until she's charging the beam, and then
Yeah.
even then, she'll probably still smack Shadow with that and stalemate him on higher difficulties. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, so Griffin is essential to this boss fight if you want it to be like
Griffin
manageable.
carries way too much of this boss fight, but I think that just has to do with the fact that he's the OG zoning enemy fighting a wannabe zoning enemy. So like it only makes sense that he would be able to contest her, but like
Well, the
this
problem
kind
is
of
that Shadow's fucking range is fucking retarded, and then Shadow doesn't like properly swap to aerial units, and because she's usually
well,
in the air, Shadow really has a hard time swapping over.
well, like I said, a lot of this problem stems from issues with Shadow's kit. Like certain inputs Shadow has are really good. They just need to be mapped to different inputs to be better. Like some of it, like the what is it, the spikes impale that he does where he shoots multiple out of his back like
Oh boy.
sequentially, that one needs to be mapped to something else, like something
Wait,
way
hang on,
better.
hang on. Multiple spikes out of his back. Do you mean like the porcupine one, or do you mean like where he's just stabbing repeatedly like a scorpion?
Pretty sure it's. Oh wait, I have the action list right here. Okay, let me go to V.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
Shadow.
if you're referring to like where it's multiple stabs from the back like a scorpion, that is not an actual attack input. That's just his aerial attack. But if you're referring to the porcupine, that's hold Y. Which actually, I'll talk about this in the quality of life section. But can I say I hate you can't map moves?
Yeah, that is kind of silly.
Like at this point, Capcom, please, movement mapping would be appreciated. I don't use half these moves. Let me change their inputs. While he's going on over there, I guess I'll talk about the boss fight.
Yeah, I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, because it's not a move. It's an auto attack. It's just a basic auto attack. But the problem is that his AI, and actually not his AI, even if you're controlling it, he has a really hard time swapping between air and non-air, and that's his biggest
Why
problem.
isn't that a normal ability? I always thought that was a normal ability.
No. It's just
Oh,
automatic, and that's the problem with Nightmare. He doesn't.
shows that
Hmm?
shadow.
Yeah, shut up. That's his problem, and that's what makes his boss fight so stupid. He doesn't have an easy swap. Like it would if it was like a combo move, like let's say back Y or something, that'd make it easier. But it's just your basic Y ability. You just have to pray he starts slicing the air. Um,
Mm,
yeah, no. So Griffin's zoning abilities do immense damage here, and they're also gonna be your main source of damage. There's no point bringing Nightmare to this fight because even if you have all three people, all Nightmare does is just keep your guys from stalemating.
yeah,
Uh,
like
eh,
Nightmare could never hit her.
yeah, Nightmare's not gonna hit her consistently. If he does hit her, it'll be because like the explosion gets her from one of his laser beams, but he himself will probably never hit her. What was I gonna say?
Can you even knock Mirage Artemis down and like put her in the?
I've never seen it with V. I will say that, but I haven't played that mission too extensively, so I don't know if you
I
can.
have. I've played it multiple times and it's never happened with me.
I
I'm
don't
just
think you can
wondering
do
if
it. I
anyone
don't think you can
else.
do it with Nightmare. I've never seen it. Does she even go into? Does she go into her like her high air thing in that fight? I don't think she does. I don't think I've
I
seen
don't
that.
think so. She has certain moves, and because the high air thing, like
Would
her
be
ascending
fucking
to the sky,
yeah. Would be
that
fucking break V.
well, the thing is, she does that because she can do a strong attack, but also because you can get up to her and knock her down. V doesn't have a way to get up to her
Yeah, if only they
because
let you
because you
fucking
can't grab.
aim Nightmare's laser upwards.
Or if he could use the teleport to hit the Grim Grips, that'd be kind of cool.
Even then, it wouldn't really work because V would be the only one up there besides fucking Griffin.
Yeah, he's just slapping her with the cane, just
I
like
think I
get
think
down
what it
on the
should I think
ground.
what they could have done is they could have had Shadow have an animation to where like you drop the Grim Grips and then you click B, but instead of V jumping, Shadow jumps up there and just tackles her down.
I would love to see just like you summon Nightmare when you get up there, and like you have multiple options. You can either like ride Griffin up there and he shoots her with electro things, or Shadow tackles her, or you just activate Nightmare and Nightmare does like the ceiling flop where he just appears above her head and just
And
grabs
just
her,
drops her. Let me
like drops in like the fucking Kool Aid Man.
what was I gonna say? Continuing forward here.
Yeah, that boss fight isn't.
It's not
It's not as.
optimal for V. Although I will say it's not as bad in Bloody Palace. Maybe because like I have all my guys, but
Oh no! The actual Cavalier, the actual not Cavalier, actual Artemis fight isn't anywhere near as bad because she doesn't fly around as much in the actual Artemis fight. Like you can consistently get to her and she can stay in one place. So Nightmare does have a chance to hit her with the laser. He still is going to have a much harder time hitting her than anyone else, but at least the chances have increased by several times.
yeah.
Um. So
Trying to think of anything
yeah,
else
there's
here.
that.
Yeah, Shadow causing problems. Griffin's gonna do the most. You basically gotta set Griffin on auto for this fight if you want to get it done quickly. And I kind of, but I've already complained about the auto mechanic. How the only way to empower the damage of your characters is to set them on auto. And yes, they do deal more damage when empowered, but you might not notice it if you don't play Avila. I'm gonna be honest here. So that's a shame, but truth be told, I do like that V's gameplay does have auto mode because you're gonna be like trying to survive as V the entire time. So it's nice that it's nice that they can attack by themselves and you don't have to worry about besides clicking LT and X.
We'll get into the criticisms of all the character designs and quality of life improvements.
All right. Yeah. So that's fine. And then finally is Cavalier. Now At this point, unless you're a sadist, you'll have your full kit.
Yeah, no. I think this fight is really interesting if you learn the parry windows. Shadow makes this fight really interesting. Griffin has like
You said
reasonable demeanor.
trivial, really weird there.
He makes it interesting.
That
Nightmare
man.
makes this fight trivial. You just because if you can hit, granted, it takes a little bit of time, but if you parry window with Shadow, summon Nightmare, promotion, illegal move, it's over. Like unless Cavalier moves, that's half his health bar gone. And I've attempted a legal move and demolition multiple times and spammed it and still managed to hit Cavalier without the parry. So I can guarantee you, with the parry and the right timing, you can set up a kill move on Cavalier. If not, like at least half his health.
Yeah, it must be nice to have
Which
a
is
giant
insane.
fucking laser beam for everything.
He's just like, I'm a fire in my laser. And Cavalier's like, oh no, please don't.
Please,
Please.
sir, have mercy.
I'm
Uh,
not even the original.
yeah, no, Cavalier, Nightmare trivializes the fight, but I'll say Auto Shadow trivializes the fight too, because Shadow, like, consistently will parry all of Cavalier's attacks when they start
It's not
fighting.
as bad as like Balrog, but like it's
Yeah,
almost bad as
yeah, it's
Balrog.
like you just watch them go at it, and you're like, "Good job, Shadow. Just keep
It's
fucking
like
doing
Shadow.
that."
I remember you. You see DMC one Shadow. Like I see
Just
you.
fucking
I see you.
flashbacks of DMC one PTSD. I'm glad he's on my side now. Um,
um.
Griffin is fine for this fight, but you're not really gonna notice him. He'll just be flying around doing shit. I always put Griffin on auto and just manually control Shadow because
All
Griffin
he's
half
gonna
the
be
time
doing
just.
is shooting lightning bolts and saying "fuck yeah," and that's it.
And then
He'll be like really excited. He'll be the guy that's like overly excited, but no, he doesn't contribute too much.
while Nightmare's whole fucking like laser beam is like game breaking for this fight as well. The real thing that makes Nightmare broken is just not allowing your guys to be broken. Like
Yeah, so Shadow gets summoned into auto combos, and then like you summon Nightmare, and it's like, hey, we're on DMD mode, but oh wait, you can't stalemate my guys.
it's like, oh well, you can go get fucked. Yeah, no, because like, so his lightning attack when he's charging up his full sword will almost always stalemate your characters on higher difficulties, and then you're just like, I see you play get fucked. Now allow me to play the second verse of that and just summon back Nightmare, and just all of a sudden you're safe.
And also use your giant hitbox to jump off of you, get air taunts, and get a little bit of DT, and then use my summons as bait
I
while I build
haven't
up more DT with the book.
I haven't talked too much about the book on these fights here, so I'll go ahead and just like state for now, in case anyone was wondering. The hardest person to use the book on is going to be Goliath because he is a lot more aggressive, ironically enough, than Cavalier in this situation.
His roll hitbox is kind of funky too,
Yeah,
so that
so the book is going to be the hardest on him. Artemis,
that's assuming you fought Cavalier without the full kit. Like
actually,
I guess if you fought Cavalier with like Shadow and Griffin, okay, but then that means you would have had to fight Artemis with either Shadow or no, what's it called? If you fought Cavalier with Shadow and Nightmare, okay, but that means you would have had to fight Artemis with either Shadow or Nightmare,
or
and
Goliath,
I
because
don't see that happening.
Goliath, in my personal opinion for this mission, and what might be about topic here, your best route effectively, and maybe speedrunners have a different route, I could be wrong. Goliath into Shadow first, then you pick up Griffin in Artemis, because you don't really need Nightmare for the Artemis fight, and then you pick up Nightmare into Cavalier. That's in my opinion the ideal route to go. I'll look at speedrunners later, see if they have a
I
different
do
flow.
Artemis first, and then I do Goliath, then I do Cavalier, and I always pick Griffin first, and then I pick either Shadow or Nightmare. It really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
For
well, Goliath as a whole, you can beat with the whole host of abilities or non abilities. Cavalier
Artemis is
though,
really the only fight.
yeah,
Artemis is the only fight, and then maybe Cavalier if you fuck up.
yeah, Cavalier is going to be the one where you at least need Nightmare for a safety net, because again, your guys will get popped.
Yeah. For that reason, I think I could respect Nightmare as like Cavalier in some capacities. I think could have been a good boss fight for V if Nightmare just didn't break everything. Like overall, he's a solid boss fight with his interactions with the rest of
Yeah, but
even V.
Nightmare trivializes, if not the entire thing, but he does make a lot of the danger go away.
All right. Now we're gonna get into
Malphus is next, right?
yeah, Malphus. So
Shit.
I actually liked Malphus as a boss fight. I did. Because I had high hopes for Malphus. Granted, I think Malphus was wasted in terms of DMC5 like
Yeah, yeah,
lore.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that can be said for almost every character that got introduced here who was new, except for
Yeah.
maybe Nico.
Well, if you think about it, every major character in like every DMC game that doesn't have like a statement behind them, Beowulf got wasted. If you think about it. Um. So what's to remember about Malphus? So Malphus can teleport a lot, but her teleports are never like super bad. You can always tell where they're coming from. Um, her little like roadie run rampage where she makes the chicken she's attached to get really angry is super easy to dodge with air taunts and air hike. If you get hit by that, I think you're like that's your own fault.
Just see my comments on Cavalier's range abilities.
Yeah, it's I think with the amount of times that you can stagger her and knock her out of like certain attacks, I don't know if you can carry her. I've never done that before. But
I have never seen it be done, but I don't watch too many like combo mats or anything.
I've watched several and I still haven't seen it. So
I'm just
I
gonna assume
wonder
you
if
can't
it's
parry.
not. Yeah, you can still range attacks do really well on her. Obviously, your sword is still very effective because even though she runs around and teleports a lot, she's the only boss that has like a ton of movement. That's never really moving as much as you would expect her
Well,
to.
I mean that's what
Like,
happens when you're half the size of the stage.
what do you mean half the size of a stage?
She's fucking
She's so
huge. She's fuck. Okay, let me
no,
rephrase
she's
that.
small compared to the
No.
other.
Okay. Compared to Goliath, she's fucking small, but she's
Dude,
fucking.
Cavalier is bigger than her.
Dude, no, she's wide, dude. She's fucking wide.
It
That's
doesn't
what.
feel like it.
Dude,
It seriously
dude,
doesn't feel
it
like when you see
does.
the camera on Cavalier, you're like, oh my god.
Cavalier is a tall noodle. She's a giant biscuit.
What are these terms?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to put the best image in your head to like explain it. I should have said Cavalier is French bread and she's an English biscuit, but you know, whatever.
And put it in the terms that I can understand. Food.
I'm sorry. I've been awake all night.
So here's the thing. I don't mind the idea of her having the ability to heal because I've never allowed her to heal
She
except
can
maybe
heal?
once. Yeah. So when she does her little like summon attack when she near the end of the fight where she like pulls the rest of her creatures together and she's like ready to like do a final attack. She can heal herself. You can
That's a
just hit her enough
heal?
times.
I thought that was
It
just. Oh wow, I never noticed that. Well, I mean,
yeah, because
it's
I
landed on me
stopped her every
twice.
time.
I think she's landed that attack on me at least once, but I never knew it healed. I just thought it was a fucking. I just thought it reconstituted the chicken. I didn't think it actually did like more like restored HP.
It's been it usually is never goes off because
Damn,
no,
Mangler, stop your fucking yawning. You actually got to sleep last night.
yeah, this boss is it's all right. Like I don't think it's a bad boss fight. It
Okay,
just
so allow me with my fucking 23 hours of being awake to school you.
hmm
Number one, the homing attack is terribly fucking like designed for the stage it's in. So she has this homing
what
spike attack, and its color scheme is fucking atrocious because it looks exactly like the normal fucking floor does.
what
The actual
man, it's
teleport.
been a while since I fought Malphus.
I'll say, ironically enough, I remember more about this boss fight than you do. Um, Her teleporting, I agree with you, is not bad. I actually like the whole portal teleporting, especially when she starts doing like that fucking rapid teleport attack. I think that's really nice. It definitely adds tension. But her chick itself is a fucking stupid fucking boss to fight because its hitboxes are worse than fucking Goliath's.
The
It
hitboxes are bad, but you can just avoid them completely. So
yeah
that's
because
why
fucking Nero exists on a third plane with a third jump. Uh,
Nero is the air. He went from having none of the air to all of the air.
Nero's become one with nature. Yeah, so Nero's fucking. She does move around a lot, and while she is basically the size of the fucking stage, or at least it feels like it, Nero's mobility and grapples, it is really hard to notice how much she moves. Because with every boss fight, it doesn't matter if you move. Nero's
The
gonna be
first
on you.
time you'll notice it. The repeated playthroughs after you get used to jumping and air taunting, and after you have flat top and like DT, you're just like, man, what happened? Did she just get weaker? Like, did
Did
I go
I
down?
get stronger, or did she always this week? Yeah. Then you continue forward here. I don't think she has any ranged projectiles. I could be wrong there. Like I know she has the homing ground ability, but I don't think she has any. No, she does. She has some air spikes that hardly ever happen, so I can't really talk about them. Fighting the chicken head on is annoying because of its hitboxes, but it's fine. Her stagger, I don't know if there's a way to stagger her or if you just have to keep hitting her. I don't understand how her stagger mechanic works in the slightest. And what was it? Okay, so regarding damage, do you deal more damage to her if you hit her on the chick's back, or does it just not make a difference? Because I don't remember it making much of a difference.
I think it makes a little bit more of a difference.
Okay.
I'm playing her right now, and I'm testing out to see if it's like.
Okay, so while Mangler's getting a first-hand account to refresh his memory, her big ol' AOE strike, it hit me once. It deals good damage, but I'm not the biggest fan of the whole charge-up screen clear attacks all these bosses seem to have. Because it's like 3 bosses have this ability. No. Hang on. Is it 3 bosses, or is it just... Yeah, no, it's 3 bosses, because Urizen has a third one. Urizen has one, too. I don't like the whole fucking screen fuck attacks that were common in this game. Like, Agnus had one in DMC 4, and Agnus was the only one who had one. I don't think Sanctus had a screen fuck either. So that to me was kind of annoying that they decided to make
What are you referring to?
The massive charge up attacks that clear the screen and basically kill you instantly. Like, yeah, there's enough room to stop them, but it's a little annoying that 3 separate bosses have a similar mechanic. I don't think you can stop Urizen's. I could be wrong, but I don't think you can stop Urizen's screen fuck.
God, I've been jumping for like a full 30 seconds and haven't hit the ground.
Okay, so like, I can't tell if that's a compliment or not.
I don't think so. Like, also the teleports I think were worse than I
than you
originally anticipated.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're bad because they never threaten you. They're completely worthless.
Yeah, because if you just run at a constant pace, she'll never hit you.
And it's like really?
they do make nice set pieces and set up nice tension, but they are completely fucking ineffective at actually hitting you. It's kind of like kicking someone in a fight if you don't know karate. It looks nice, but it is not going to do much.
Oh yeah, so when she summons herself into the ground, she says, "Now die," and then she comes back out, and then sets up the thing to start healing, I presume.
Again, I don't think that heals, but
I'm just gonna let her. Yeah, no, it's healing. It's healing. It's very slow.
Okay, so there's a heal there.
Yeah, so her normal, it's like a cerulean blue.
Yeah.
Or like a cascade blue, like a dark blue turns light blue to indicate it's healing. It's really slow. It's like Virgil's DT heal on DMC.
Do you want to pause it and start streaming so I can look at what you're doing?
Oh crap! I already killed her. Let me go back.
Okay. It's fine if you want. We can just move on to the next boss. I think we already got what we need here, but
yeah, I mean she's just about done here anyway.
Okay, so the next boss, if I'm unmistaken, is.
Wait! We didn't give our thoughts for like
final thoughts. Okay, so since we can't talk about V's interactions with her or Dante's yet, I'm just gonna go ahead and give her a 6 out of 10 for Nero. Like
I think she's the best you can get out of an average boss because she's at bare minimum. She's not completely fucking you for completely stupid reasons. She's very honest. She's a little too honest for her own good. Like she needs to play a little dirty, and I could tell that she's trying to do that, but she doesn't have the capability. Like she should have had more magic-based abilities. And the one projectile attack, I saw it. It only shows up like one time, like when you're attacking her, and then you'll probably get hit by it because it's like really. The tells aren't bad. It just only happens when you're on the back, like right next to her, and they're about 4 feet above her head.
Okay, so I was right. There was like a crystal thing there. Fucking dark.
Well, it's more of like a spurt of like purple nurple, like little. No, it's literally it's like some black goo being shot at you with like some purple demonic aura being infused around it.
Yeah, but very vivid imagery there. A purple nipple, huh?
I just like
Oh,
collecting
fuck
those
that
things.
that brings back fucking memories.
Yeah, so she's all right. Not
Again, yeah,
phenomenal.
I'd give her a 6 out of 10. Only on Nero though, because I'll talk about V and Dante when we get to that. All right, Mangler, you
Mm,
have the list. Show me who is next. Because I'm pretty sure we're on yours now. No, no,
no,
no, we're not. Because there's
Cerberus.
oh
Cerberus.
fuck
So
Cerberus.
fuck him on DMD. I think on every other difficulty he's completely
He
fine.
is the fucking. I don't know how they fucked up Cerberus so bad. He wasn't even that good in DMC 3, but I would rather fight DMC 3's version any day
Eh,
of the fucking week.
no, I would like
Oh,
honestly, Cerberus was way worse in DMC3 on higher difficulties. He was insufferable. So, oh wow, that's weird. He's at stage 90. He's not at like the edge of the
yeah,
because like
yes.
every well, I'm sort of just going here so I don't have to play him in the campaign.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
fine.
I get it. Yeah, no. Cerberus is stage 90, and then stage 100, 102, 103 are just to go fuck
Yeah.
yourself.
It's like 96 is like I think like the mini boss rush, and then it's like 97, 98, or no 97 is the boss rush.
Well, there are four
98,
bosses at the
99,
end,
90,
so
98, 99, and 100 are the years and rushes,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
that's right, that's right.
101 is
Virgil.
yeah.
Okay, so regarding Cerberus, yeah, I fucking hate Cerberus in this game. When playing as Dante, and that's not because he beat my Bloody Palace run, all those months ago,
And
and I
I'm
haven't gone back
super
since.
salty about it.
I haven't gone back since because my fucking Royal Guard hit him, but apparently it fucking didn't because his hitboxes are fucking wrong. You,
Just hold the guard. He can't breach it.
no, okay, so he was charging me, but so I Royal Guard released before he started his charge up, and I was right next to him, right in his face, and the Royal Guard released it and hit him. And then he charged and killed me. It's on stream, by the way, if you want to see that fucking nightmare. I think it'll be I think it'll be the last Bloody Palace one I did because I've never gone back to play DMC5 after that day.
I can just stream this on Mixer right now because I'm playing freaking
All right, let me
Cerberus.
send a link in the chat, and I'll go ahead and add
It's
us
been a
all.
while since I've played it, so
Oh yeah,
I'm
go
a bit rusty.
whatever. I'll go to add monitor capture to this, and when the time is right, because I am doing mobile game stuff as well. We'll go over the
What
link
just
list.
happened there?
What do you mean?
That was weird. You just kind of like lagged for a little.
That's probably because you were starting to stream up. Just let me know when you share the stream onto Discord, so that way I can try and load it up. Because I don't think I don't think I have it on my Google Chrome as far as I'm aware.
Let me recharge Mixer. Is Mixer alive again? Yes, it is. There we go.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll have some gameplay courtesy of Mr. Mangler, so you guys will get to see Mr. Mangler in action.
Yeah, so anyone who's aware of wanting to do this, I'm just gonna kind of mention this now. If you're on Xbox, just turn on your broadcast on your Xbox One. Go to if you're the easiest way to do this is on your phone, but if you're on your computer, you can do it too. Whichever one's faster. Go to the Mixer website, or I think if you have the Mixer app, but I don't. Just take like type in your name and then like copy the link and then put it in like a Discord DM. If you're trying to like stream it in someone else.
Alright, so
It makes it a little bit more convenient.
so just click on that link. Now it's gonna take me via internet or via
Yeah, you should be Cerberus. Should see Cerberus paused.
no, but no, I know. Okay, there we go. So let me go ahead and just get rid of this for now. We'll remove that. And so here is Mangler fighting Cerberus. Yeah, I do not like Cerberus's form changes. Like, I like that the weapon itself has 3 forms, but I hated the form changes in this fight. Also, what's the point of breaking the fucking pillars? You think those would do something if you break all of them, but they do nothing. Man, you suck.
Hang on a minute. This has turned into a DMC stream now.
Well, that's fine. When Mangler's talking about it, I'll give my comments on the boss fight. Oh my goodness, look at how fucking disgusting his fucking gameplay is. He's fucking cheesing everything. Okay, so Cerberus about to go lightning. I do not like the fucking fact that he has so many fucking safeguards like that. That is, and it's an automatic stagger, as you just saw right
I
there.
think
That is.
lightning is a little funky. Whoa, Jesus!
Have you tried looking at the fucking floor, Mangler, to fucking see what? Oh, I kind of hope we see Mangler die on this fight. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, how did he even hit you there? I didn't even see what hit you. Switch to your pistols.
Oh, I got this. Don't worry.
I don't know, Mangler. You fucking are fucking 4 bars of health.
This is where I shine.
And he's gonna get hit again. Oh, whoa.
What the fuck?
That was a straight lamp in here. I didn't know it did that.
I didn't know it had a
Mangler, back off. He's gonna
that
turn ice. You
needs
need
to
to get
be
the fuck out of there. Okay, so Mangler's block is apparently on point because it actually deals damage if it hits you. Oh, and Mangler's gonna die because this ice section is complete bullshit. Why are you gonna go sing DT? That's not gonna fucking help you.
I mean, he's one.
Sin DT doesn't give you vulnerability. It just fucking gives you less stagger. I guess you got a vulnerability frame there, granted, but you're still gonna die when he. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, whatever.
Yeah, that was a. How did you die so much before we even showed up?
It doesn't even matter. So I just wanted to be refreshed with. I just needed to get to the end of his ice phase so I could see all of his abilities.
All right, so I guess we'll keep Mangler on the stream. Like we'll stay on Mangler stream for now. Where the fuck is your fucking Where's your Dr. Faust?
I don't really use Dr. Faust because it takes way too long to charge.
Oh, no,
I haven't.
but I'll spam rockets every day.
Yeah, no. I haven't played DMC 5 in a while, guys. I'm extremely rusty. And most of my gameplay is in Nero, so if it looks marginally better, it's because I actually practiced him.
Okay, so yeah, the lightning is apparently a lot more unfair than I remembered.
So the lightning. Here's the thing: basic lightning projectiles, I think, are fine. Close range lightning attacks, fine. The lightning stomp down ability that he does that has a weird 4 to 5 foot hitbox off the ground.
I do not remember it fucking hitting off the ground. I don't remember that.
It's not even completely into the air. It just tags you if you're like a jump off the ground. Why? Also, why does it cover almost the entire stage? Like, I'd be fine if it was like an ability, or if it was like a super like massive laser he was firing. I guess they're just like, yeah, there are too many lasers in this game. We can't do a laser attack.
I think the point is to be zoning based, but he never swaps up his actual style. He will go from fire to lightning to ice, and it will stay consistent for the entire fight. I don't think he ever varies up his transformations. On the higher difficulties anyway, might lower. The fire form, I think its hitboxes are really whack. Its timing is fucking awful. Its mobility is fine, but again, its hitboxes just make the fight so unfun. Ice form is just bad. They do several just unfun attacks there. All the fucking aerial attacks, all the space comes down, all the fucking charges and stuff. It's just not fun to play against.
So the icicles in the ice fight, they took the icicle attack from DMC 3 and they made it 100 times worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's insufferable.
Well, that's because just the ice part's insufferable. Period. It's just stupid. It's just poorly designed.
I don't think the original Cerberus was ever that bad because at least you could cut off the fucking head.
Yeah.
Or at least you could just like dodge it.
Which
and just, like,
I say for the record, it is 2019 when this game came out. DMC 5, you cannot cut off Cerberus's heads.
Well, the only reason I say that DMD to DMC 3 versus DMD to DMC 5 that this Cerberus is better is the fact that you just have the sheer damage to completely fuck him. Like, if you have Sin DT going into this, full ignition, Dr. Faust summoning thing right after you stagger him. Because you can stagger him. Like, you definitely can stagger him.
I've never seen him be staggered. I'll say that one.
You can stagger him. Actually, let me see if I can check him out with Nero a little bit.
I was going to say, can you show me a Nero stagger? Because I've never seen the animation of, like, grabbing him with Nero. Because I don't think...
You can do it with Dante, but Dante, you have to do, like, a specific setup.
Right. So we will comment on Nero's gameplay more in the quality of life section, or I guess now the Blade Palace section. But yeah, so this will just be.
We're just noting it here just to show him the example that he can be staggered.
And also, Mangler wants to show that he's not complete trash at this game.
You know what? Nero, I think Nero makes this boss fight is great for Nero.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to say this now. Almost all the boss fights in this game are better with Nero.
No, they aren't better. They're just really good with Nero.
Yeah, because the game was designed with Nero as the focus. Even if you want to say it's more well balanced than DMC4.
It's almost like he's the protagonist or something.
I know, it's fucking weird. Alright, so let's see. So he's already swapped over to Nero. Oh, look at that negative 32. Look at that negative 50. Ooh, negative 54. Ooh, that's trash.
I don't even know what those numbers mean.
Okay, so there's a stage default time limit it takes to beat. And 54 means it took you an extra minute beyond the stage time to beat it.
Oh,
so that means you're a trash Nero player.
I didn't like just the sheer amount of like numbers on display.
I fucking hate the fact that you can't turn off the timer in Bloody Palace. I think what they should have done is they should have given you an achievement for doing it with timer and without. Oh, the boy does an instant max act and he thinks he's cool.
And then I just max acted immediately after you said that. I max acted twice actually.
Oh, go suck a dick. Rawhide, really?
No, it's kind of nice.
So where are you gonna put your Buster Arm in your ragtime?
Oh yeah, I forget this. This puts it at the end. Hang on.
Yeah, so you wanna. I would recommend grabbing a fucking probably a Gerber. Oh, you already have a Gerber. I'd recommend grabbing a lightning.
Oh, I got an idea. Hang on. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one.
Yeah, because Overture is arguably the best one.
Okay, there we go. Now I got a setup where I can like ragtime him, then put Overture.
If you don't grab Tomboy, it's because you're trash. You coward.
You're so judgmental. Wait, is this working in real time for you, or is it a little bit behind?
It will probably be a little bit behind because I'm still on the white screen. Are you fighting?
Nope.
Okay, so
are you fighting now?
Yeah, I'm fighting now.
Okay, so it's in real time.
Okay,
right.
so I've learned that Mixer is when it's not too taxed, it's in real time, but the second shit starts going crazy. Ooh, seeing you miss that high roller. Oof. Straight into the jaws of the beast. This is fun. Was that a fucking table hopper? Okay, so
the table hopper.
Oh wow, okay. I will say it's impressive how your EX acts are impressive. I will not deny.
They're all right. I still need some work.
And he misses the attack.
The point was for iframes.
A dodge straight into the hit. Amazing. Don't worry, next time I stream, you can bitch about my gameplay.
See, look. He was staggered right there.
That was a stagger?
Yep, it was a little weird. It was a mini stagger.
Yeah, I was saying that doesn't. Oh, and he hits straight into the fucking explosion. It's like not even trying to win. Oh, this hurts watching you miss all these attacks. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, the bubble works on him?
Yeah, all the bubbles work on all the bosses. They have a reduced effect.
No, Urizen immediately pops it. It says that bigger enemies get popped. The bubble pops immediately. Dude, are you trying to just fucking get hit by those?
Not entirely.
Oh, now I understand why he fucking uses up. Run? Oh, is that stagger? Oh, it's stagger.
Yep.
Hang on. Animation. What? And of course, the fucking mixer freezes when the fucking animation starts. I'll look it up later, but okay, so... Alright, so very clearly he's doing a more successful fucking Nero game than he is a Dante game. Yeah, so high animations cause it to lag, but it looks like it's still ultimately in real time. Well, I think for the most part, servers. I'll give him. Even though I just bitched about him significant. Oh, I hate servers on DT. You know what? No, I take it back. I'm gonna give servers a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna rate him a 4 out of 10 with Dante because I just remembering the DT just made me want to throw up in my mouth. Why did you pop your... He's gonna fucking die. He's gonna die to DT Cerberus. You're gonna waste all your fucking... You've already wasted most of your breakers. What's your backup plan now? Also, it's gonna be an explosion, so get out of there, because you're gonna get fucking hit for a good amount of damage, and it's still gonna hit you for a good amount of damage. Wow, that chunked off almost your entire health bar, and you have nothing left. I think you...
I cannot do this with you talking.
The orbs do give you DT, and yeah, he missed his exact. Mangler's done. He's lost his mojo. He's done. Oh wait, he has a laser beam attack. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, that one's pretty honest.
3 out of 10.
Like it. I'll take 10 out of 10 for that one. He just doesn't do it enough. Like.
Wait, so if he already has a beam, why the fuck did they put the ground bullshit for him? Okay, so he's gonna go into ice form. Mangler's gonna get fucking melted. Because he's not gonna escape in time. Is he gonna escape in time? Oh, that should have hit. That's bullshit.
Are you angry?
I am upset that did not hit you. Yes, that should have hit you.
Air taunt is the best move.
Oh, so your mobility is just... Oh, and he just got flying. He's gonna get flying again because he's not gonna be able to get up in time. Oh, dude! And he's gonna die again because Cerberus just keeps spamming the same fucking ability. And there it comes again. Yeah, this is fucking a terrible attack. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with this one. And he's dead.
Fuck this ability. I didn't know he DT'd in Bloody Palace. I completely forgot. The DT doesn't start with Malphus. It starts with him.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, no, remembering DT, I just want to drop my rank lower and lower for fucking Cerberus. Oh, he spammed those icicles on you non-stop.
So now that we've seen it twice, I can say the icicle spam is insufferable.
The ice form is just complete garbage. Like, it's the worst form he has, ironically.
He doesn't use any other... The problem with the ice form is that he doesn't use any other attacks other than the icicle. He only has the icicle.
I mean, I don't mind him using the most effective attack, but even if the first icicle hits you, he can immediately call the second icicle in on you, and then the third and the fourth.
I think the stagger is done really well for the first phase and the second phase. The problem is you can't stagger him in the third phase very effectively because there aren't a lot of openings because he's spamming the icicle.
Yeah,
he
because
just kind of kept behind Beauregard.
The ice form was just stupid. What they should have done is the chains you can break around the map should have countered the ice form in some way. But yeah, no. So Cerberus gonna get 3 out of 10 for me. And this is with just Dante. And Nero, in my personal opinion, makes the fight more tolerable. As you saw,
I'm pretty sure Dante for me is a 5 out of 10 because I've seen more interesting interactions with him that I'm not familiar with. A lot of tech that I don't know and I'm not aware of.
Right. And as for V, he's fine. Ironically enough.
I forgot V could fight if it's Summon Nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. V's fine. We'll talk about Blood Palace later, though. Okay, so next up, do you want to stay on Nero? Since, well, actually, no, Nero doesn't fight. Actually, he fights standing Urizen and chair Urizen. You want to just show off chair Urizen or no? Because Urizen's the next boss, right?
Oh, I was going to go over a list, but now we know which ones are left.
Yeah. What should be left now are all 3 forms of Urizen. So I guess while Mangler's doing chair Urizen, I'll be talking about it and commenting on Mangler's stellar gameplay.
Wait, do you just want me to fight, like... Oh, wait, yeah, you can just fight them over there. I was going to say, it might be easier for me to go back to, like, the mission and then, like, fight them, but that'll take too long.
Yeah. So the only thing is I'm not sure if we want to show off the gameplay of the final Urizen fight with Dante, since you fight him in the campaign with Dante, or do you want to just show it with Nero?
I can show him with Dante. It's okay. He gets DT.
I don't expect you to win. I just expect you to show off the gameplay.
It's been a while. It's
hey, look, man.
A couple months ago.
Listen, man. I'm sure you say that to all the girls too.
Well,
I swear it's never.
Dude, happened. I got so much fucking footage and recording of my thing, of what I've done.
I'm
stuff that I've done to Virgil. Like, don't even.
I'm not saying you're not good, Mangler. You know all I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, this is standing years or sitting years, and.
Look at this. This is the Nero player in its element. Choosing its arsenal. Dude, Buster Arm you're not going to use for like this fight. Be real with yourself. I would take a second overture, but that's just me.
Well, I never asked you for your opinion, so
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have to worry about that.
Oh, yeah, he's doing so well on your fucking own. Oh, a second punchline? Is he going for the? He's going for the second punchline.
Punchline is really good as an evasive berserker or breaker. So standing yours in, I feel like, or sitting yours in, I feel like again the way he's designed, that you're designed to like lose to him.
In my personal opinion, Cherry-Risen is fine. My only complaint would be, so you see those ground attacks Mangler just dodged? Those are unfair because those can be spammed repeatedly and those can be comboed into other things that would ultimately force you to go into it. This double laser is fuck, immediately Mangler's practically getting fucked. Wow.
I got hit once. Stop bitching.
I'm just commentating on the stellar Neo gameplay you have demonstrated for us. Maybe you should have gone with the second Gerbera instead. The laser beam when it goes double is fine, but it does feel a little unfair at times. Huh? Did that break it? Yeah, I was gonna say, you DT'd. How did that hit you? Oh, here it comes again.
I DT'd again.
You know, the fireball did not seem that bad in my memories, but apparently it is just fucking you broke a second breaker. Well, I guess you didn't break it, but did you break it that time or no?
I did.
Okay. The time ability is a wonderful addition because it's not too oppressive.
Yeah, no, it's reasonable.
Actually, ironically enough, DMC's time manipulation abilities have never been bad. Nero's over there trying to build his self-confidence as he gets slapped around like a fucking ragdoll. The Crystal's fighting back mechanics, I am trying to talk about this game as a whole, but like watching Mangler just get fucking...
That fucking hitbox is stupid when you're falling down from it.
Because I don't, oh, and he got hit by ground things, like I mentioned, a bit unfair. I don't remember the Crystal breaks the fucking time, the Crystal breaks time limit. Oh, he already DT'd?
Oh, he DT'd? I didn't even know.
Yeah, he already DT'd. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, it adds extra hits to his abilities.
Wow, you haven't even hit him yet, and he's already fucking DT'd. Mangler, the time thing's not going to work in the Crystal.
It actually does. That's why it's slowing down, numbnuts.
For like, what, 2 seconds? I guess if that really matters to you.
It does, because time is time.
Now, if Mangler doesn't do any damage to Urizen, this will be accurate to the campaign. It's almost like he's taking that as a personal challenge. Okay, he's done it. He's done it.
Oh wait, you just
right,
end the fight when you beat him.
shit.
Okay.
Okay, well.
I thought this was like.
Yeah. I forgot about that too. Oh well, that explains why he DT'd then because the crystal was halfway held. Yeah, all right. Okay, so that fight looked a lot worse than I remembered it.
It's fine. That was prologue years in. That wasn't mission 8 years in, where you can like actually like bully him.
All right. So what was I gonna say? Yeah. So honestly, I don't have too many complaints on this Urizen. I think he's fair for everything he is.
That's also BP Urizen, so he adds extra attacks when he DTs.
Yeah,
I don't think that happens in.
No, but so I will say the ground geysers. Normal Urizen is a fucking really fucking annoying with the ground geysers.
They're just irritating to happen. Like the hitbox of the crystal does get you in a ground to air transition. It's fine if you're in the air and you're moving away. It's not fine if you're going back and forth between the ground.
The crystal fighting back is fine as well. I think they did a good job with that one.
Well, I think fighting back is just the hitbox when you're going from ground back to air is funky.
It's just the hitbox. It's a fucking travesty.
If you're staying in the air like I was when you're noticing like the million different air taunts that I'm doing because I don't ever want to touch the ground, the crystal is fine.
And we're over here playing the ground is lava.
The floor is lava. Also, the fireball is kind of annoying, but like if you have Gerbera, you just like don't even care. You just give it back to him.
Yeah, it's a shame you fucking lost all your Gerberas. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think it does its job pretty well.
I would say 7.5 for me because it's.
Oh my god! Just go the extra fucking. Just round it up.
No. I like irritating people.
Alright, so next is gonna be I can't beat this guy with Nero. I'll be up front. So while I'm gonna be talking shit about Mangler, I have not beaten this guy as Nero. I
Well,
can't beat him.
this guy on mission 8 is not meant to be beatable, but like in
Yeah,
Bloody
but, yeah, I'm talking Bloody Palace right now though. Just quick comment there. So let's go over his moves. I remember them very distinctly, but Mangler will demonstrate them firsthand.
So the gotta charge my phone. So most of his moves are exactly the same. The main addition. Oh my god! Don't tell me my charging cable is not supported. Go fuck yourself. Sorry. The main thing that's different is that his what's it called? His freaking.
You want to take a second to recuperate because very clearly you're a bit off your game.
I'm gonna retry that. I didn't mean to grab that fucking shit. I can't do this with your criticism and your stupid like.
Look, man.
Like, I couldn't play Nero to save my goddamn life. So
I actually made it to stage. I actually made it to stage 100 with Nero, so you can go fuck yourself.
Oh, I beat Nero's Bloody Palace multiple times with base.
All right, then there should be no problem, Mr. 54 minutes.
It's been a while,
dude. I don't care if it's been a while. Every time I go back to DMC, I'm better. Oh my god!
Kingdom Hearts 3 Remine, which is completely messing
with me. Oh my goodness! Quit your bitch.
Dude, that's how Rust works.
No, Rust is a map on Call of Duty that is pretty good.
Shut up. So the main addition is his tentacles. He just kind of like throws them back and forth, and
the tentacles are the worst part about it. Why'd you fire a fucking pistol?
I didn't want to hold it.
Oh my goodness, you pansy.
I'm trying to decide what I want. It's like the shop. I gotta pick something.
Look at him. Oh, and now he's fucking doing Revolver Ocelot taunting by bringing out his pistol. Slapping him back down.
That's right, guys. I played Metal Gear Solid 3 as well.
Where was I? Well, I mean, it's every Metal Gear Solid game but 5, because his pistol trolling in 5 is not as impressive as it is in 3.
So he's mostly the same. He has multiple tentacle moves.
Honestly,
he has, like,
it's just the tentacle homing in.
And then he has like a close range one.
The tentacles are what make this fight unbearable because their hitboxes are so stupid. Their targeting and tracking is so fucking good, and I don't think you can parry them. But I guess we'll see the expert Nero player in action.
I mean, you can neg them with. I'm pretty sure that you can neg them with freaking what's it called? Gerbera.
No, I'm sure I'll be able to demonstrate that right now.
You know, you can freaking piss off. There should be more than one ragtime here. That's kind of stupid.
I mean, they are the 2 boss fucking arms, so it makes sense that you wouldn't have fucking 2 of them. Come on. Bust out Gerbera. I want to see the parry with Gerbera.
What do you mean?
Well, I'd actually like to see if you can parry it with Gerbera, so add it.
I would prefer if I had GB. I'm also nerfed because I don't have GB01 or Mega Buster, so Mega Buster would make this fight significantly different because I'd just be dodging for days and he would never touch me.
Well, that's probably why I don't fucking give it to you.
Yeah, because they're like, hey, let's give him a better dodge than Table Hopper, and I'm like, the hell? Like, Table Hopper at least requires specific timing. No, we'll just make that your normal dodge roll. No problem there.
You're gonna start off with Rawhide? I know you're looking at that Rawhide.
I'm trying to remember what he...
Mangler, considering...
Helter Skelter.
Considering all the fucking arms you break in 2 seconds flat, you should take a full kit with you.
I took a full kit with me last time.
I know, and you lost it all in 2 seconds.
I mean, breakaway. Breakaway is useful. It's an iframe. Also lifts you in the air.
Yeah, here come the tentacles, I think. Yep, there they are.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot play around the tentacles to save my life. I hate them so much. Everything else is fine, but the tentacles are just really unfair. Aerial strike's about to come down. Mangler's gonna dodge it. And they're there.
Oh, I tried to do the, what's it called? Helter Skelter. No, I'd rather take the reduced damage than...
Man, that just looks oppressive as fuck. I wanted to try Blade Palace with Nero again, but now I don't want to. Yeah, here come tentacles and
I literally can't see the fucking. Hang
tentacles.
on. Yeah. Why is? Hang on. My dad's texting me.
All right. Yeah, no. So tentacles have terrible fucking. They do have good telegraphing for the start, but once they get off his back, you're like playing a game of fucking chance to try and find where those tentacles ended up.
It's weird because like you have a better chance on the ground than you do in the air, but you can do more damage. Um, like look at that! I literally dodged it with fucking Gerbera, and the hitbox comes around.
Mangler,
What?
your stream canceled.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, it's saying your stream was offline. Oh, so Mingler's over there dealing with that situation. Yeah, so again, all the attacks with Dangurism are fine, but those tentacles are just so fucking unfair. So personally for me, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because while tentacles do really kill it for me, they're the only thing that kills it for me. Everything else is fine in that boss fight, in my personal opinion. Because there's also a little bit of a heal mechanic in there as well, which is really nice. The heal mechanic really helps shit out. Oh, fuck me, I didn't sleep at all last night, so I'm running on fucking fumes. Ah! Oh, why does everything hurt?
My Xbox just freaking disconnected for some fucking stupid ass reason.
Yeah, I was wondering why the fuck your stream ended fucking abruptly, because usually it freezes, or like it'll tell you.
Yeah, no, I wanted to freeze, and I got this instead.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, just basically, even without mentioning that, I'm just more familiar with most of the other bosses, so I would have seen them anyway. But just like going through them, having to play the game after not playing it for a while is
Oh my god, your dropping
just.
ability should
Dude,
not
you
be that
suck
substantial.
when it comes to
Oh,
this
oh,
game.
oh,
Don't
oh,
sit
oh,
here
oh,
and
I
tell me.
suck. Then you
Don't
know what,
sit here
Mangler?
and tell me that I can't play the game. Don't sit here and tell me that.
Mangler,
I know why I'm doing that because I'm rusty, and I can admit that.
I'll
You can't
invite
admit shit.
Mangler. I'll invite you to join me to watch me play the fucking game later today with fucking less than with 24 hours fully awake, 32 hours, and I'll still won't do as badly as that. Although I will say, when it comes to the bosses, I'll probably do worse, just because like I am just not good at fighting that boss in particular.
Well, I never fought any minor enemies. I was only fighting bosses. So.
Okay, man, that's okay. You don't have to defend your honor.
Look, either way, the tentacles are just—they're
the worst part about the boss fight.
When they go through you and then wrap around. Their hitboxes are still active even after you Gerber out of them.
Yep.
No matter what Gerber you're using, which is really funky and stupid.
Yeah, I gave the boss fight a 6 out of 10 while you were gone, and I just specified because the biggest problem is the only problem with that boss fight. That's the tentacles. They're just the worst part about it, but they're the
other than that, he literally has just all of yours in the moveset. I think the fireball becomes way more oppressive than it needs to be because now he's moving, so he can add mobility to its positioning. Because before, when he fires the fireball, he just sits in the same spot and it initiates from the same location, or maybe slightly different based on where the crystal is, because he kind of fires it in relevance to where the crystal is in front of him. But it's not too bad because he's never moving from the spot that he's sitting when he fires the crystal, or when he fires the fireball in front of the crystal. Now he's moving, he can adjust his positioning. The close range tentacles, I don't think I mind those. Being able to stagger him, that's really nice. Though, again, you need to be able to break the crystal before you can stagger him.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd say 6 out of 10. I'd probably put him in the same place as Malphus. I think if his tentacles got moved around and they were a little bit better, and the crystal wasn't so fucking tanky, Jesus Christ.
I did notice the crystal was pretty tanky when you were fighting him. But to be fair,
I was using Exceed, DT, and Bringer Knuckle. That is like all the damage modifiers that I can use.
All
that's like
that
5 different
for a
hitboxes.
drop of blood.
I know. Sitting there like, you're not even a match for me. And people are sitting here like, yeah, no, like, Nero's stronger than yours, and fucking gameplay comes along.
So will you try streaming the Dante version of the final Urizen fight, or do you want to just talk about from memory?
I'll probably just do Nero so I can get through it a little bit easier.
All right, can you start your stream again?
It's gonna be fun. If I can't, I'll get to Virgil, because if I can do Virgil, I'll just do mission. Well, we're gonna divide Virgil into 2 categories because I do believe Virgil is a completely different boss fight if you're fighting him with Nero than if you're fighting him with Dante. I'm not gonna stream with Dante, but I'll definitely stream with Nero. Because like Dante's for me, like how I choose to fight with Dante makes the boss fight not so fun for the first phase because you can like style on him, right? Because you just guard him. We'll get to that when it happens. Either way, you know my thoughts on standing Urizen. So next, or do you have anything to add, Zim? Like I said, 6 out of 10. What say you?
I also gave it a 6 out of 10.
All right.
Because again, like my biggest problem is his only problem, and it's the tentacles. But the tentacles are so fucking oppressive that it's just not even worth fucking going.
It's like Urizen went to Japan before he like went into the demon world and was like, tentacle porn.
Plot twist. Virgil's always in the tentacle porn, and
he was like, I always liked the octopuses, and then thought like, yeah, maybe this would make an actual attack that's like not insufferable to whoever I'm fighting.
He was wrong, but you know, that's how the story goes.
Next, Fruitizen, or Boxing Urizen, or Full Power Urizen, Urizen.
We're gonna call him Urizen the Champ.
Urizen Rocky Urizen. Urizen post training.
Okay, yeah.
Street Fighter Urizen.
Yeah, because he does have some Street Fighter moves actually. I cannot with. Okay, so Manuel's going to be showing off gameplay right now. I'm just going to finish off my roulettes here real quickly. And of course, it's the King of Fire Soul. Come on, please.
My mixer should be back up.
All star. Not the one charge. Come on, all star. Yes. All right. His mixer's back up.
I want to watch mature streams. Stop asking me.
Mature stream? What the fuck?
Yeah, it keeps saying, like, this is for mature audiences only. I get it. It's a rated M game. It's got blood. Ooh.
I mean, it has a lot of blood.
Well, most of that is just for, like, some effects here and there, but, like, you know.
Dude, you literally step into a fucking blood fucking tunnel.
It sounds like a you problem.
No, it's Nero's missions. And I think, like, Dante's.
For the sake of me, I could fight this with Dante, but again, like, I'm super rusty with Dante. I don't like playing him right now.
Oh my goodness, Mangler. It's fine. No one will judge you.
No, but, like, I literally don't like playing him, and I might not survive till the end of the fight without doing gold orbs. Like, a little someone we know.
Don't be mad that my stratagem is perfected.
Yeah, throwing yourself out there and then dying immediately and reviving, like...
Hey, they couldn't stop me.
Oh, wait. I don't like that they can't differentiate, like, in the profile, like, the difference between, like, standing and chair Urizen. I mean, it literally is the same Urizen, but, like, come on. At least make him, like, a different color or something.
Come on.
Yeah, come on. So, he has the exact same moveset, but now without the tentacles, he has boxing moves, which again...
And somehow that fixed all his problems.
Oh my god.
What? You DC again?
Hang on. Yeah, okay, we're good. My problem with max acting in this game is that whenever I max act the first time, I always hit another strike. I always get it in the second strike and max act the second time in a row for, like, no reason.
I mean, well, at least you can max act consistently.
Yeah. Should be doing better. Well, I'm fucked.
I guess he could be doing better, guys.
Yeah, in case you didn't notice.
Oh, damn. Tough shit. We wrote, yeah, no, but, alright, so let me just go into...
I'm gonna say, like, this boss fight is definitely meant to be done with Dante, because Dante, like, Balrog works so well. His guns don't work as effectively, except in the second phase, because you can sort of, like, camp him out. But you have to be careful, obviously. Nero can do well, but Nero can just do well against most bosses in this game anyway, because you can ignore their mechanics. The problem with like this boss fight in the first phase is that it's very clearly designed for Dante in mind.
All right,
Because
man.
Dante can just guard everything.
You may proceed.
No,
Yeah, no. This boss fight was intentionally designed for Dante because you could like just fucking ruin his day with Dante.
I think it's a great boss fight for Dante. Roll guard works pretty smoothly. You'll notice when I attack him, he'll do.
Man, he is not giving a single fuck about you. Oh, and there's the blast, and you got staggered in that, but you didn't get taken.
I wasn't even aware I got staggered because I was at the top of the screen.
Oh, and there's those attacks because God love that.
I can't even see myself. I'm so okay. There we go. I'm so far off the.
His kicks are fine. They do show that he's not very skilled. The hitboxes are pretty fair, all things considered, which is a nice touch in this game, or a nice statement to say for once. Fair hitboxes, I know. What a fucking crazy concept. Oh, sorry, staggered. You gonna grab him?
Yeah, hang on.
And he's being kicked in the balls. I do love the. Oh, and there's the teleport. Teleport is fine. Is that going to be a.
Teleport is in the second phase is kind of insufferable.
Yeah, because this goes away.
Damn it! I didn't time that right.
And now he's in DT. So we'll probably see a screen fuck this time around.
Yeah, the teleport is very. Well, hang on a minute. There's something wrong with the camera.
The summon swords are fine.
Is there anything I can do for No. Wait, maybe for game options. Oh.
Maybe camera distance, which one to increase?
Yeah, if everyone again, camera tracking. Take that off if you want to have a good camera experience. A lot of people's problems with the camera can literally be ignored by that. I also turn off attention camera as well. Camera distance, I constantly shuffle between this and that, so I'm going to try.
I'll increase your camera distance so that way you can see yourself in the air.
Oh yeah, that might explain why I'm literally disappearing into the top. Like, I disappear, like, you noticed if you watched the beginning of the stream,
I think do it like two. I think all the way because I doubt it'll be that massive of a difference. Yeah, see now you can't really see yourself.
Oh, I didn't mean to break that.
The swords are fine. In fact, the swords are really nice. Give you DT.
The swords are especially nice for Dante because if you time them well, you can get a lot of DT.
Or you can just shoot them and still get DT with any character. But
Yeah, well,
Mangler decided to.
I've never really shot them with Blue Rose, to be honest. Oh, you can also preemptively activate the time orb before it hits you. Like you just saw that. Like you can activate it with the iframes from your jump, which is really nice. Oh damn it! I thought I could do this thing with Virgil. Oh. I guess you're not Virgil. Who would have guessed?
No, Mangler, haven't you heard the criticisms?
Oh yeah. So.
Yeah, he's fine for what he is. DT just makes every boss in this game a little. Did that meteor just go like in a full 90 degrees?
It went through me. Yep.
Alright, so come on, yours in. Screen fuck yours in. I love how the background's blowing up still, even in this version of the fight. Does that not do damage? I thought it did damage.
Yeah, so the third phase, he uses the light projectiles to pressure you at a distance, which I think is fine. Especially for Nero, it's completely fine.
I think you touched the floor maybe 5 times.
Oh no. I guess I failed. If I touched the floor, I failed.
Yeah, no, this boss fight for the most part is just fine. I'd give this one 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm going to give it not a 10 out of 10 is because some of his attacks can be pretty bullshit. Oh, here we go. Here's the screen fuck. Although it's not that bad on this not as bad as the others.
Well, it's not that bad because you're Nero. You literally jump to the moon. With Dante, you can't jump to the moon because all you have is the Ecstasy Air Taunt. Which the Ecstasy Air Taunt, I forgot to mention it in the last video. I said Dante's taunts are shit. They're all shit except for Ecstasy. Ecstasy is amazing. It's I think that's what it's called. It's basically the Lucifer throw the rose move because it launches enemies. It's amazing for like a combo starter. It's really good.
I like how he just fucking decks Mangler with the left jab. Oh, and here it is again. Yeah, so it's not really doing that much damage to Mangler.
Yeah, honestly, this boss fight
Way
like
easier than the
it's
fucking next last one. Yeah, good 9 out of 10. I think is good rating for this one. Fair attacks, fair hitboxes, good pressure. All
yeah,
around,
it's
all around
very
the fight.
very good pressure. Like he will stay on you.
And as Dante, again, you are more designed to do this fight, so in campaigns will feel a lot better too.
You
Just
know,
that those tentacles will fucking, or not those tentacles, but those spikes will
there
fucking
are
wreck
there
you.
are negatives for Nero, but like again, it's designed for Dante. Like you'll notice you can't do as much stagger outside of certain phases. You can stagger. I think you can even stagger him inside of the third phase. Uh, Almost never happens. And DMD, this fight is actually better for Dante if you know how to play Dante than than it is for Nero in Bloody Palace, because the DT is more consistent.
He's gonna fuck you.
See, I'm not going to get the opportunity to use. Oh, he just staggered. He fell backwards.
Can you even really stagger him? Can you stagger people with DT?
I think they have to be at like certain points. Well, I wasn't using that anyway.
Watch him now get staggered.
Well, I mean, I have ragtime, which, as you can tell, is putting in the work.
And you just lost 2 of your breakers. Oh, you lost all 3 of them. Ooh, can you beat it without your breakers? I see you're not very sporting about it.
I didn't lose all my breakers. I purposefully broke them to get the damage. Um, but yeah, it's a great boss fight. I think with Nero, it's all right. I think it's probably an 8 out of 10 with Nero. With Dante,
Oh, fuck you, suck.
yeah, no. With Dante, it's way better because you could just stagger him way more consistently, even on DMD. A lot of people have said that, like with testing, that is essentially like that fight has led to the meme, like, oh, you know how Donguri is just like Donguri never touches the ground, like DMC5 enemies never touch the ground, or well, people have done never touch the ground challenges with Urizen, and they have been capable of doing it with this fight. So
Impossible.
that means, yeah, I've seen gameplay of it. It's consistent enough. So if you know what you're doing with him, and it's not a massive learning curve, you just need to be aware of what attacks and what mechanics in Dante's kit do that. Granted, that requires you to be aware of Dante's kit and have knowledge of this, so that will require a lot of time and practice. But
Bullshit.
as far as applying that knowledge, if you already have it to yours, and the learning curve isn't that high. For learning Dante, it is. But we just expect that of you in general if you're playing this game,
No.
because that's just how Dante operates. Um, so all in all, solid boss fight, 10 out of 10. The only problem I have is that the spikes reach a little too high for what Dante is capable of handling. Um, that's like he can't just jump over them; he has to guard them.
Yeah, but it is nice to have a boss that has hitboxes to actually fucking work properly.
Yeah, and
Eh.
at that point, it's at least his strongest attack, so it's not something that he like throws out there. So if I get hit by it, it's like, well, it's at least his strongest attack. I'm not going to use BP. Well, I might use BP. Actually, no, I'm not going to show BP. Fucking Virgil.
Don't want to get
Um,
wrecked. I understand.
no, because I don't like fighting a Virgil that like isn't designed to fight. Like Mission 19 Nero is, or Mission 19 Virgil, or Bloody Palace Virgil, which is just Son of Sparta mode Virgil. He's not designed to fight Nero because he's just the Virgil that you normally fight, but without any stagger, which kind of like fucks with his fucks with a lot of the setups that Nero can consistently do.
Can I just say I find it kind of weird that in all the actual menu screens, there's not a menu screen with Virgil and V at the
There's
same
not a
time?
what?
There's no menu screen with Virgil and V at the same time?
Oh, wait. Are you telling me Virgil and V are the same person?
I know, it's crazy.
Dude, stop smoking. Where's that good shit you're smoking? Like, let me know. So, for Virgil, I think, like, as far as his boss fight in 5, I will say, and this will sort of talk. I'll talk about this like for like maybe a couple sentences, and then I'll leave the rest of the spiel for quality of life improvements, because that will be the next section we'll be going over in this video. I don't think we'll go over all of it because there's a ton, but we'll go over at least.
I think we should just separate them because we're already at 134 here, and I'm already like on the verge of fucking death.
Yeah, showing gameplay, I think, just kind of like
it definitely expanded. Yeah, it definitely like increased the time limit, but I'm sure people will appreciate having some gameplay. That's
yeah. So as far as Mission 19 Virgil goes, I will say that he is definitely a much easier version of Virgil than DMC 3 or DMC 1 ever demonstrated. Yeah, he seems kind of hard, but like the first phase of the fight right before he goes into Send DT, stupidly easy because Royal Guard can literally block everything. The blocking windows for his summon swords are on time. The fact that he like charges at you at the beginning of the what's it called? And the fight, the lunge, I like that he has a grab, but you can also break out of it, so you can get punished for it, or you could just like guard through it. Royal Guard kind of breaks certain portions of this fight and makes it trivialized. Granted, it doesn't trivialize Send DT though, because he'll just hit you enough times until you run out of DT. And if you play this on Hell mode,
perfect block.
Yeah, if you play this on Hell in Hell mode, you no longer have that advantage, because if you get hit even when in Royal Guard, it will kill you in one hit. So you have to basically perfect block everything if you're going to use Royal Guard.
Laughs in Dante main?
I don't know. There's not many Dante mains that are willing to risk their playthrough because, you know.
Just not
I'm trying. So
mains.
Overall, I think he, like,
for this game, overall, he's a 9 out of 10. Actually, no, I'll give Virgil 10 out of 10. He's actually, I think, the most fair guy on the block. But compared to the other Virgils, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, well, okay, we're not. I don't think it's fair to compare him to the Virgil because we're just doing a review of DMC 5. So I know we mentioned these just as context, but as far as our review in context of this game,
I mean, he is the best
he
boss.
Should be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
he should be a 10.
He is the best boss in the game, period. I don't think there's anyone who could fucking honestly say.
Well, okay, Cavalier, I think, is the closest you can get. Like, Cavalier's really freaking close. But the thing is, Virgil having, like, a powered-up form that you can interact with, especially since Virgil has 2 different fights where he has the exact same moveset but completely different interactions because of the fact that he gets staggered and they're both designed for both characters.
It also helps that he doesn't have useless abilities unlike Cavalier.
Yeah, nothing he has is useless. Like even his teleports, which I think were nerfed from the previous games. I don't think they have the same kind of priority. Even then, you have to respect them. You can't just like be like, oh yeah, no, he teleported away. I'll wait until he comes back. Like you can't do anything to him when he does that.
Yeah, because even if you ragtime his mid teleport, he is no longer hittable.
Yeah, no, it gives him even more time to run away.
You're just like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, so his judgment cuts, I think, are really good. Animations look really smooth. They do a lot of damage. A judgment cut end is terrifying to get hit by, but holy fuck is it satisfying to roll through or ride through. There are so many ways to avoid judgment cut end with like stupid, ridiculous moves. Like you can roll slide through it with Cavalier. I've jumped through judgment cut end with the iframes of a jump. By accident.
Yeah, no, Judgment Cut End is really nice ability to see too when you actually see it.
But it is a great idea of a boss move that's like high risk. Wait, what? Oh. It's a great ability. It's a great example of an ability that's high risk, high reward, right? Like, you can try and be safe on it. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure Judgment Cut In can't block, or no, Royal Guard cannot block Judgment Cut In unless you perfect block it. So you can't bind it. You will get punished for it. You can obviously run away, and on lower difficulties it takes like an infinity to charge. But on like Son of Smarta mode, I think in DMD it's like
If I had
it
to,
takes like a second and a half.
yeah, it's pretty quick. If I had to add one complaint about it, I would say they should have had a gravity effect on it on higher difficulties to where it was harder to get out.
If it's what?
On higher difficulties, it should have had a gravity effect to where it's harder to get out of it.
No, that would have been fucking atrocious. Gravity completely removes your ability. Like my problem with the Virgil fight, like the issues with this fight are difficulty based. So I'll show you this. You'll see this. You can see this in DMC in the mission 19. If I show this as an example, but you'll know if it's a problem mission 19 if I show you mission 20, because we're talking mainly over mission 19 right now. Doppelganger I think is also handled pretty well. Granted, you need to be prepared for that pressure. I know it's a little weird to see that, and then see Virgil and just be like, oh, you've got Doppelganger right now.
Where's
so for the first time,
doppelganger?
Yeah, but it isn't like a real like doppelganger. It isn't like completely like you can harm it, and it's quite weak. I think it should have been a little bit stronger, and it should have been summoned more frequently for Nero's fights. And I think you should have had more summoned swords for Nero's fights. But this is among several of the complaints I have for the Virgil boss fight. I think the Virgil boss fight like just needs to be significantly buffed, because the problem with Virgil is that his main attacks are attacks that are telegraphed from a million miles away. So they're super, super honest, which means you're never going to get hit by them if you know what you're doing. But it's not like if you know the timing. It's like, no, if you just pay attention and open your eyes for 2 seconds. Like it's super, super. If you have fought any other Virgil boss fight in the series, he is so much easier. Granted, mission 19 makes it harder because it's Dante you're using with a completely like a full move set that you have to manage at the same time while fighting him. So swapping through weapons and style switching could cause some inconsistencies in your reaction time. But this does not apply to Nero. This does not apply to Nero at all. So if we go to mission 20, this gets
look at all those fucking gold orbs. They're just gathering dust.
Yeah. I'll go here and take out Tomboy.
Wow, Mangler, what do you have against Tomboy?
Other than the fact that it's only good for minor enemies.
Holy shit, you have a lot. Why do you only have 3 bananas?
Because you can't buy them.
What?
Yeah, so you have to pick them up. You have to buy the monkey business. No, not break it. You have to find the monkey business breakers in the city streets. You cannot buy them. So, yeah. Fun fact for anyone who's curious.
I don't know that.
Yeah, so the main issue with Virgil, as you're going to see, is that the Judgment Cut has a skybox. It did not have a skybox in DMC3, and I need to make this comparison because since it did, I always presumed I couldn't jump too high. Then I realized once I was spamming air taunt to jump, if you're in the air, Virgil can't get you. Virgil cannot get you unless he teleports up there to do a helm breaker that takes way too much time to come down. It's not like in DMC3s where it's immediate. I know I'm making a lot of comparisons, but that is the main problem with Virgil's boss fight, is that it's just not difficult enough. None of his moves are the problem. It's just certain applications of the moves. Like the moves themselves work good. They just need to be buffed. Like that's the issue with his boss fight, is that it isn't hard enough. His basis is completely solid though, and I think they did him justice. Granted, I wanted a little more. I wanted him to drop bombs when he went into his Sin Devil Trigger Dragon mode, airplane simulator, whatever the fuck that is.
It's just a charge mangler.
Airplane simulator, yes.
Listen to that fucking music. Ugh, son of a gun. I just hit the 24-hour mark of being awake for 24 hours. Ugh, son of a bitch. Mangler, where did you go? I'm losing the strength to comment by myself right now.
I'm back. Sorry.
Thank God, because I do not have the strength to carry this video on my own anymore.
Oh yeah, you're like sleep deprived. So mission 20, Virgil. What makes him different? Well, you're sort of about to see.
Yeah, I'm watching you do this fight. Oh, now we're watching myself a bullet. Okay, guess we're doing this now.
Damn it! I forgot he bounces off the brink. I didn't mean to even slap the brink. So, I see him from so far away. He never feels like a threat.
Yeah.
It's just, and the stagger. I think the stagger is fine.
Probably not the best ragtime.
Yeah, no, I've had better ones.
You're not gonna start the animation?
I missed it. I just like taunting him. It's a lot of fun. So watch this. You'll see it when he goes into Sin DT. It'll become very apparent that there is a problem.
Did you put on your fucking hood?
No. Wait, are you behind?
No. Like I just noticed you had your hood on.
Oh.
And there's Virgil being father of the year, ignoring his son.
So here it comes. The fact that I can just grab you, dead immediately. Okay, no threat. And now it's an anime air battle. And he can't hit me with Judgment Cut. Final boss of the game just being casually bullied. Look at that. They literally have a skybox. That's not good.
Oh man, maybe they'll change it for the definitive edition.
Yeah, it's just he hits you from anywhere. Like he should have, like it should have been from the start.
Hits your save data directly.
Also, Mega Buster kind of trivializes this fight. For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Couldn't possibly tell what the problem is.
Oh, damn. Now it's gonna begin, right? Oh, no?
Yeah, it's on DMD.
Oh, of course. And you just lost Gerbera.
Yeah, it actually breaks Gerbera, I think, if you try to hit too many. I almost no damaged him. Oh well.
What are you gonna do? Shoot until he's dead? Oh, and the screen froze.
Of course, the stream froze. How about now?
We're good.
I paused it and then...
I just had a little bit of lag, but it's all good now. We saw you win.
So, Again, he's a great boss fight. I think everything he does is super honest. Nothing he does is degenerate. And all of it is manageable and can actually damage you. The problem is that Judgment Cut, his main way of pressuring, and his like rapid slashes can be completely ignored if you just air taunt. I mean, swords don't track. Granted, I'm glad his swords don't work the way that they do in the reboot. That would be bad if they tracked like they did in the reboot's DLC. That'd be terrible. Well, actually, that wouldn't be too bad. But I feel like you could still avoid judgment cuts. It's just I guess they thought with the size of that radius, it wouldn't be too bad. Or it would be way too worse. Given that the alternative is that I can dodge half of his arsenal and he can't hit me, I don't think that's very balanced. Also, certain breakers kind of trivialize him on the lower difficulties. If you hit him with, even on Son of Sparta, if you wound him, you hit him with ragtime, like the ragtime breakage, 2 overture things, and then the buster breakage, you can like skip more than half the fight. Like I think on Devil Hunter, you just one-shot him essentially, because the buster breakage does so much damage.
Well, I would comment right now, but I can't really think of any like coherent responses that like that match that you gave. Because I didn't realize that as soon as I hit 11, I'd just be fucking destroyed.
Yeah, so those are the bosses.
So now all that's left is quality of life and Bloody Palace for the next video, and then I
quality
think
of life improvements / expectations.
Yeah, we can take care of that definitely next time because I will not be able to add anything to that conversation right now.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next stream or video.